Our mission is really very, very simple. Our mission is to rescue, care for, and help get adopted dogs and cats.
FOHA is really special in that we don't shy away from animals that may be a little bit harder to adopt. We actively bring in senior dogs. We bring in dogs that are heartworm positive, dogs that may have slight behavior issues that we're going to be able to work with and train. We bring in FIV positive cats. Where we fall into the niche is really helping with other shelters that have to take in the animals, and we take it from them so they are not having to euthanize for space.
The animals that are here, it's not their fault. Most of them just were in the wrong place at the wrong time, or adopted by a family that didn't realize how big they would get or how energetic they would be, or, you never know when bad things are going to happen to you. So, pay it forward and try to help a homeless animal. They deserve a chance.
What motivated me to come here was I wanted to start giving back to my community, start helping, the dogs that people tend to overlook because they are somewhat challenging, and kind of opening up the doors so that way they can find their forever home.
I felt I needed to do something with the community, and I knew I was crazy cat people, and my vets worked with FOHA quite a bit, so I contacted FOHA about becoming a volunteer. It gives me a sense of community, and I really enjoy working with the cats.
I always wanted to work with animals. I feel like at a shelter you get more rewarded for your work because you see the animals come in, I get them the medical care they need, and then I see them adopted. So it's kind of like a full circle. And that's also what motivates me, is getting them homes. I feel like every dog and cat should have a home. I feel terrible for the ones who don't.
We do something here called doggy social. And the behavioralist here will take anywhere from 2 dogs up to maybe 8 or 9 dogs. And we know how these dogs react. And we put them all together in a run. And it is just amazing to me to see a shy dog all of a sudden come to life. There's a dog here by the name of Judd. Judd was so shy that we used to have to carry him in and out of his run all the way to the exercise yard. But it was absolutely amazing. As soon as he got in this exercise yard with a bunch of other dogs, he came to life.
Doc was a huge success story. He was here for a couple of years, was such a great guy, but as you walked by his run, he'd give you the side eye, and then when you would go to take him out, he'd jump up and almost knock you over. But if he liked you, he loved you, and he found the right person.
One day this guy just came in and was like, give me one of your harder to adopt dogs. And we showed him Doc, he fell in love, and Doc got adopted. They're living a happy life now, and that's one of the reasons that also keeps me around, just seeing those harder to adopt dogs get out of here and go into a loving home.
One in particular, well, besides Link, is a dog by the name of Marvin, who has, and when he came to us, he was really rambunctious, and there weren't that many volunteers that interacted with him, and he kind of became harder and harder and harder to walk. And I changed how I related to him. Rather than taking him out for exercise and walk, just like you would, quote unquote, any other dog. I found that he's a very sensitive dog, and so I would just spend time with him like this in his house and pet him and be affectionate with him, and we just kind of bonded, and that's really what he seemed to need and want.
Buttercup came in the end of May and gave birth on the 29th. I slept here for 4 nights, and I actually slept on a dog bed next to her to make sure that, there were no more puppies afterwards and everything was okay. And then for 4 weeks, I raised them in my office. We didn't know she was pregnant when she came up here. They didn't know either. They likely would have euthanized her down there at the shelter she was in. So we got to save her and 7 puppies.
There are about 7 or 8 dogs that I always walk. I call them the usual suspects. There's Kingsley, there's Echo, there's Murphy, there's Lambert, there's Link, there's Pelican, there's Chaucer. The list goes on and on. So, no, I don't have a favorite dog. Oh, my 2 dogs are favorite dogs. There you go.
FOHA has really grown over the years. It's amazing what we're doing now with training and enrichment. Unfortunately, we have been here on this property for 50 years now, so a lot of our buildings are starting to show their age.
We're getting ready for phase 1 of our renovation project, which is to completely rebuild the catteries we have here. They are in desperate need. So our hope is that over the ensuing months and years, and we are talking about several years, that we're going to be able to do the renovation to make this an even better place physically than it is right now.
The community really supports us in many ways. Obviously donations, but adoptions, fostering, volunteering, spreading the word, that we exist, that shelter animals are wonderful and deserve a chance, and sharing our posts on social media. All of that, really, it could be as simple as a share, and it could change the world for an animal.
I tend to think that everyone wants to support homeless animals already, and I suppose that they don't necessarily. We do all have our different priorities, and I understand that. For me, it's just things come back to love, and the more love that there is in the world, the better. And I think dogs and cats are easy for a lot of us to love, and they really need it when they're in this kind of an environment and they don't have a home yet. And I think it benefits everybody, when they're offered that love and we are offering it because we get it back. It's all a reciprocal, beautiful, loving thing.
So, in any way you can, more money, more volunteers, come out and walk these dogs. If you can't take one home, come walk them. They love that. Yeah.
Link, you have anything to say?
I don't know, buddy. One of the best things about volunteering here is that you get all the free dogs, but you can handle them.
Since 1973, your compassion and generosity have helped save the lives of more than 17,500 dogs and cats. Yet there are still so many who need our help. With your ongoing support, FOHA can continue to rescue, heal, and find loving homes for animals in need. Together, we can create even more life-saving stories in the years to come.